Hello, welcome to a new series of game development by someone who doesn't know how to make games. So, I'm a graphic designer by trade. I have a day job where I make websites and videos and animations and all that kind of stuff. I like games, I like telling stories, I like to write things. I've never made a game in my life, so big caveat from the start. I am massively open to feedback. So if you guys have got any ideas or any mistakes that you want to point out, please do, because I have no ego in this. The only thing that I know that I can do is make the graphic side of things. Obviously, I've got a style here that you can see where it's kind of pixel art. There are reasons for that I'll kind of go through, but the making of the assets is not the problem. It's the coding that's the problem. So I will go through what I've done, why I've done it so far, and then the stuff that I've yet to do, the stuff that I need to learn. So why am I making a game? What prompted me to do this? So I had a really good idea for a story that I wanted to tell, and I've written a lot of stuff before, and I started to write this story, and kind of midway through I realized that I don't read anymore. I don't read books. I don't sit down and take the time to read stuff. So why am I writing stuff when I know that the kind of audience, which is me, people like me, is just not there. People just don't read stuff anymore. I sound like a boomer, but it's right. People's attention spans are just kind of shot. So what is the best way of dispensing this story? And luckily, the type of story that I want to tell works quite well in a game format. So I play a lot of games, and the kind of games that I like to play are story driven. They kind of got a lot of role playing, and they dispense their story through internal books and audio logs, think Bioshock, stuff like that. We've got books in Skyrim and Oblivion, diary entries in Dishonored, and all of those things are brilliant little snapshots of the world that you are inhabiting. So the overarching story, while important, and it drives the plot and drives the player to go from A to B and talk to people and find things out, solve problems, solve puzzles. It's the little incidental things that I find the most interesting. So by taking the story that I'd written and breaking it apart into a game format, it allowed me to actually expand a lot on the stuff that I wanted to talk about. The plot for this game, in a nutshell, is you are this chap, Harold. You're an old man who has woken up in a nursing home. It's run by robots. So he doesn't know who he is, where he's kind of come from, why he's here. So it's a typical sort of amnesia beginning. So you as a player are tasked with kind of helping Harold figure out who he is, why he's here, why this place is run by robots, why the place is falling apart and the robots seemingly are doing a pretty bad job. This scene that I'm showing here is from the early midpoint of the game before it fully opens up. We're in this chap's room. So this guy's called Frank, although we haven't learnt that yet, so his name is just a description of what he looks like. He has kidnapped, shall we say, and dismantled a robot because he's trying to figure out how they work. He's laid down blocking the door because the other robots have found out that there's one in here and they're trying to get in. So he's blocking the door, and we are tasked with solving the puzzle of getting out of this room alive, basically. So how are we going to do that? So that's the kind of the overview, and that leads neatly into why am I making this style of game. Really, the fundamental thing of this is talking to people, is reading stuff, is picking up objects, solving kind of quite light puzzles, but mainly it's about interacting with this world and these people. So to simplify it as much as possible, I thought a point and click game makes the most sense. So some examples of stuff that are probably quite obvious. You've got Monkey Island, you've got Broken Sword, stuff like that. Now, Monkey Island is beloved because it oozes style, even though it is, and this is obviously a later addition to the series, it's quite low tech, but the writing is what really people love. The dialogue, the larger than life characters, the music is amazing. Broken Sword, like, even though it's kind of 2D, the graphics on this are just amazing. I absolutely love the look of this, and they're the same sort of thing. You're walking around, you're talking to people, you're picking stuff up, you're transitioning from room to room, and there are a lot of isolated puzzles within a room, and there are wider puzzles that kind of go across different levels. But really all you're doing is talking to people and picking up stuff, so there's a bit of pixel hunting and stuff like that going on. What engine am I using to build this game? So you may notice if I just pause here, you can see fully now that I'm using Unity, and the system that I'm using, the tool that's sat on top of this is called PowerQuest. This is made by a company called Powerhoof. The big caveat really for this is when I first started making this thing, I didn't know if I was going to finish it. I didn't think that I wanted to spend any money from the start because I didn't think I was going to complete it. And really, it was just a bit of a learning exercise. So I was looking for a system that I could use that was free and was fairly simple. So baby steps. Unity seemed really obvious, and after a bit of Googling around, I managed to find this thing. It's great. It does all of the back end stuff, all of the scripting for you. You just have to build your assets and kind of get them all talking to each other. So you can do really simple stuff like dialogue. It's got a dialogue system built in. It's got interactions where you can kind of click on a thing and your character will speak. So this is a system that I'm using. It's free. It's available. You can download from powerquest.powerhoof.com. It's brilliant for support as well. So there is a Discord where this chap Dave, who made the thing, he's responded to a bunch of my questions. I've had lots of problems that I've run into because, again, I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer. I can make some assets, but I can't code. So he's really kind of pulled me out of a couple of pits that I've kind of written myself into, or I've not understood some things. And as well, there's this brilliant series on YouTube of how to use the system that he has made. And they've just released a new game called The Drifter, which is great. And you can see from this that their animations are just incredible, but this is built using exactly the same system that I'm using. Obviously they've added some other stuff, so they've got like lighting engines and shaders and stuff going on. I don't know how to make any of that stuff, so mine's going to be a little bit more basic than this, but it shows the power of the system that they've built. So a quick overview of how this thing works. So I've got a bunch of rooms that are built already, so we're not starting from absolute zero. I've created the assets for everyone's walking animations, talking, all that kind of stuff. Everyone's got portraits and stuff like that. I've not built every single room. I've not fully mapped out every single quest, but I've got pretty much everything that I know I'm going to need. So what this series is going to be is going over what I've already got, going over what I need to build, and we'll kind of do some deep dives into some of the UIs and things that I've built. I've never done anything like this before, so I'm just kind of learning as we go, and a lot of the ways that I've probably done things, people will look at and say, why have you done it that way? Like this, for example, I'll show you the dining room in a couple of episodes and you'll see the state of what I've done. So I've written myself into a lot of corners, but hopefully I've kind of brought myself back out of them again. And as I learn, I'll get more efficient, and I'll learn better ways of doing things, and I'll probably revisit old stuff and redo it. So hopefully it's just going to be quite interesting to follow along. So I'll just show you some of the assets that I created as I was kind of planning this thing out. So these are the different residents of the nursing home. They're all got their own personalities, they've all got their quests associated, they've all got different rooms that they live in, there's some shared spaces, and really we've got an entire nursing home to explore. They're all a little bit kind of mad, and hopefully quite funny and interesting. We've got some really old stuff here, which is my original sketches when I was planning out what I was going to do. But yeah, it's a nursing home, it's run by robots, it's kind of falling apart, and we need to help these people to get an understanding of who we are, who they are, and what the hell is going on, which is the main kind of quest. You see some stuff here where I was originally looking to do it in 3D, as in building in Blender and having it as a fully kind of realized space that you can walk around in, but it was just beyond the realm of possibility of what I was going to be able to create. It made much more sense to do it as a sort of 2D space that I could quickly create in Photoshop, and then just have my dude walking around. So yes, this is really early stuff, but then this ended up being this is our cast, if you like. If any of this sounds interesting to you, I'm going to continue making this series. I think the next one, what I'll do is have a bit more of a deep dive in some of the rooms and to explain the quest system that I've built and the quest log. So there are some things that I've made from scratch myself, probably maybe wrong, but they seem to work. They get the job done, and yeah, any comments greatly received, any feedback. I kind of want this to be almost a bit of a collaborative thing. I want to learn. this is a learning exercise for me. I want to learn how to do this stuff because this isn't the only game that I want to make. I've got loads of ideas. There's loads of stuff that I want to make. This is just the first one. So yeah, thanks for watching.